Hi, I'm Heather from Here Booktubes, and today is Creepy Romances. This is the second time that I filmed this because the first time I never hit record. Yay me. So before I get started on the books, I did want to really quickly shout out Steven in Stereo. He also has a booktube channel, which is the Paperback Punk. He doesn't upload to it too much, but I'm hoping that he gets on the ball with that in the future. His main channel is Steven in Stereo. He's a music reactor. I found him because he started reacting to Taylor Swift, and I kind of watched his journey of just kind of being somebody who knew her singles to somebody who became a hardcore Swiftie and loves her music as much as I do. He's great. If you want to watch a music reaction channel where they're not going to trash the song, they're not going to trash the artist, they're going to actually try and enjoy the song and the music and appreciate it for the art that it is and just jam out to it with you and enjoy it and has actual insightful commentary about it, he's the perfect music reactor. I love his channel. I've been watching his videos for well over a year. I've joined his Patreon. I just genuinely think he's a great person with an awesome channel. So the other day on Twitter, he said that he doesn't read romance, but when he wants to know what's up with romance, he watches my channel. And I was just like, oh, that's so sweet. And then he bought me a Kindle. And I was just like, what? So apparently my affection can be bought and my shout outs can be bought, and the price is a surprise Kindle. So there you go. Kind of awesome. He reads thrillers and some YA fantasy, so if you want to check out his music reaction channel, he reacts to a bunch of Taylor Swift, Halsey, 5 Seconds of Summer, Harry Styles. He's really introduced me to a lot of new music, and whatever he listens to, he doesn't bash it, and I just really love it. So, creepy romances. I am a scaredy cat. I've never watched a horror movie in my life, and I never will. I don't read thrillers. You know that show, Castle, with the detective show? Yeah, creeped out. Like, feel the chills going up my spine as I walk in the dark to the bathroom or to the bedroom. That's my type of level. Like, I'm a PG suspense girl. Like, I just have a very low threshold for scary. That being said, these are some creepy romances, and I think that they're pretty creepy. You might disagree, let me know. First one is Cruel Black Hearts, which is Cruel Black Hearts #1 by Candace Wondrak. This is a serial killer reverse harem series. Main character Stella is a reporter, and she writes about serial killers, and because of that, she ends up kind of attracting them into her life, knowingly or unknowingly, and it is crazy. It is one of the darkest books I've read. There's no abuse, so that's always a plus for me. I do not like reading about abuse on page whatsoever, but there's lots of killing and some really bloody killing and some very graphic killing, and it is just very, very creepy. I read the first 2 books. I never read the third one. I should. Yeah, it's a reverse harem with a bunch of serial killers, and they kill a lot of the people. Next I have 4 Psychos, which is The Dark Side #1 by Kristy, Cunning. This is my little cheat book. It's not really creepy. It's really not. The covers are creepy. The covers are awesome. I love the covers for this series. But it's actually a rom-com. It's a paranormal reverse harem again. And this girl isn't a ghost, but we don't know what she is. She's not really in existence. She's only in existence around these 4 guys, and they can't see her or hear her. She can't touch them. She can't do anything. And if she goes away from them, she stops existing for a little while or for a long while. She can't tell. And she wants to be a real girl. She wants to make them all fall in love with her, and she wants to eat popcorn. And it's funny, and the scope gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and where we end up is not even close to where we started, and it's a really fun time. Paranormal, kind of biblical, dystopian type paranormal. Next I have His, which is Dark Romance #1 by Aubrey Dark. I was uncomfortable the entire time I read this book, and I finished it anyways, and I DNF books like nobody's business, so you know it was good writing. I mean, I was uncomfortable. It was just my threshold. So basically she plays Nancy Drew, and she follows this guy home, and she gets caught. Turns out he's a serial killer, and he doesn't really want to kill her because he's attracted to her in some way, not necessarily just straight up physically. And so he kind of sets out to manipulate her sexually, so that he can keep her, so that she'll want to stay with him, so he doesn't have to kill her. And one thing that did annoy me about this book is that she's kind of the cure for his serial killer tendencies, his need to kill. She's kind of the cure for that. And I don't think another person can be a cure for those type of urges. I mean, I don't know, but I didn't find that part to be super realistic. Only like one person dies in here. He does die pretty bloodily though, I'm not gonna lie to you. And yeah, it's definitely dubious consent and is just uncomfortable. Next I have He Hates Me, which is the first in the Hate and Love Duet by Rina Kent and Isabella Starling. This book is a stalker romance, and it is consensual, non-consensual, with a little bit of like rape fantasy type things thrown in there, and very much a stalker, so trigger warning for that. It's dark, it's crazy, it's wild, you can't look away. You're just like staring at the page like, oh my gosh, where are we going? Naima from Naima Reads also read this book. In fact, this is kind of how we started being friends in the first place. We read the duet. The first book is better. The second book, not as great, still an okay read, but not nearly as great as the first book, in our opinion. Last but not least, I have For You, which is the Berg #1 by Kristen Ashley. I originally had a different Kristen Ashley book on this list because I DNF'd this book. And I DNF all the time. So this is the first time I'm recommending a book that I actually DNF'd. Take that, Naima. She likes to mock me for it. But you know what? DNFing is life. It's what allows me to continue to happily read books. I DNF'd this because it was too creepy. And I was creeped out. And then I was like, wait a second. This is perfect for this video. So I'm including it. We have a second chance romance between Feb and Colt. February left 15 years ago. She hasn't been back since. Everybody knew that she and Colt were soulmates and destined to be together and were going to live happily ever after. And then they broke up, things happened, there was trauma, and she left and she never looked back. Now she's back taking care of her family's bar, and it's their second chance romance, and all is fine and dandy. Things are going great together, and then an axe murderer starts going on a spree of horror and terror across the country and is dedicating his kills to February. And it was creepy. I was all stressed out. And I was like, second chance, I don't know, I'm creeped out. I DNF'd it pretty far into it, but honestly, the murders were just escalating and escalating and escalating. I was like, we are gonna die. I'm out before we die. I do kind of know what happens from other books and kind of interconnected series by Kristen Ashley, but yeah, so creepy. So, are you a scaredy cat? Are you a thriller, horror buff, slasher flick, all the things? Where do you fall on the scare scale? Where do you fall on the scare scale? What is your comfort level? Let me know. Have you read these? Did you think that they were creepy? Do you think I'm honestly such a wimp that I would even describe these as creepy in the least littlest bit way? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.